Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of AgogeTV with me, your host Phil Leonard.
And I'm your host Josh Summersgill.
And on today's podcast, we have Emma McQuaid. Coming into this year's Open, coming out of this year's Open, Emma was 7th fittest woman in the world and has therefore retained her invite for this year's CrossFit Games. Emma has been on the CrossFit scene for what feels like a really long time and has seemingly really quietly chipped away at becoming one of the top athletes in the world. So we're going to get into that a little bit more in a second. Before we kick off the podcast, I need to ask everybody to like, subscribe and share as per usual. And basically, I'm going to throw it over to Emma. Emma, could you really quickly explain what does it look like at the moment because I know it's obviously a bit out there as to whether you're actually going to make it to the games because of all the lockdown and things like that. So where are we at with actually going to Aromas and throwing down?
That's a good one. Obviously just keep checking, obviously, for updates and stuff, but at this present moment in time, I cannot get into the USA. So
right.
Yeah. So it's not looking too good, but obviously if I need to fly overnight the day before the game starts, I'll be doing that. So
awesome.
We just have to wait and see for updates and stuff. But until Trump kind of opens up America, it's going to be quite hard for probably anyone outside of America to get in there.
Yeah, definitely. It is. I mean, I know I've been keeping a bit of track of it, mostly thanks to the guys at Talking Elite for Fitness. But I know they're saying it is looking likely that there's going to be people allowed to fly for work purposes, which would include you guys. So hopefully we'll get to see you at Aromas. And just to explain for our listeners, obviously the Games is at Aromas this year, which is where it was originally held before it was a big, massive competition, worldwide competition. Are you looking forward to hopefully getting to compete there?
Oh yeah, that's obviously, that's where, the Aromas was well before my time, obviously, but whenever you look up YouTube and stuff, that's kind of one of the first YouTube videos of the CrossFit comes up. So I think everyone would know of Aromas kind of thing. So it definitely would be quite exciting. And too, I think having no fluff and gimmicks and crowds and stuff, I'm used to kind of with quad racing in a field. So it's kind of the same thing, really, isn't it? So
you've got this. I actually said to Josh before, and I was like, you just because of the setting and having seen you compete at regionals and things like that before now, I think you've got to be one of the picks to finish quite high up. I'd like to see you on the podium. Of course, you'd like to see yourself on the podium as well. But do you think it'll favour you in because again, running and just the sort of things that are potentially going to come up?
Yeah, obviously, everyone probably know, I've underperformed the 4 years I was at regionals. Just nerves and stuff to get there. Just usually get the better for me in the big competitions. So yeah, I think obviously no crowd, no spectators, just a wee bit more chilled out.
Yeah.
I think that's why I do so well in the Open, because it's just kind of more chilled environment and stuff, and I don't get myself too hyped up. And that's typically when I perform at my best. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think it's just going to feel more like a throwdown kind of thing, just with your mates. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, amazing. Speaking of the Open, can't not mention your first place finish in point 1, which was the worst workout, by the way.
It was terrific.
What was it? 7? What was the time? Sorry.
I think my time before I got a 15-second penalty. I think my time was 7:43.
Ridiculous. What did you get the penalty for? Was it the kicking the bar on the burpee?
No, they said my chest, my head was above the bar on 2 reps. So I got 15-second penalty.
Right. I didn't even know it was a standard.
And
I didn't know either.
No.
I've got a big head, leave me alone.
I was going to say, you'd have no chance, bro.
I know.
No, so yeah. But yeah, it's one of those things, whenever you're pushing speed, there's gonna be mistakes. You never intentionally make a mistake in a workout, but there's always gonna be boundaries pushed when you're you're going like full send.
The thing is, if you're going like full tilt on a workout like that, then you should always move as well as you can, but you're not really thinking about that, are you? Your head's down and you're trying to go as fast as possible. So it's one of them.
And it was my second time within 90 minutes. So
wow. So, why?
You've done twice in 90 minutes.
Yeah. So I went to the gym. I do the workout every Friday, get a feel for it, and then I repeat every Monday. If I have to repeat, but this one, I was disappointed on Friday. So I was like, yeah, definitely repeating this one. Went in, hit the workout at 12 o'clock, done, job was done. I hit 7:51 on Monday morning. And then I went home, reviewed my video, and I cut my head out. So, so yeah, I had to go again. So that's why obviously the video was live, because I had to do it home at my home gym.
Right. Okay.
So obviously that's why the video was posted on the CrossFit HQ website for everyone to see. And then obviously I went 13 seconds faster on my 3-peat.
Amazing.
So,
and obviously your performance in the rest of the Open probably definitely lived up to your first performance, and just getting your spot from the games from the Open. How do you feel like that takes a bit of pressure off?
Yeah, it does big time. The way we planned our season was, straight after the games we took 3 weeks rest. Then it was to be honest, I didn't want to do the Open this year. We were going to do a sanctional and try and qualify because my head just was not ready for the Open. Yeah. After the 3 weeks rest, I kind of just got into a real chilled out mood, and kind of really struggled to break out of that. And like I said to my coach, I was like, this is going to be the worst Open to date. I was like, I'm not ready. We didn't kip. We didn't do any burpees. We didn't do any conditioning. We didn't do any Open prep leading into the Open. And my coach, James Jousey, he says to me, he was like, look, he says, let's just see where you're at. He says, let's do it anyway. And he was like, you're not ready. And he said, but he says, let's see what you can do, what your head will let you do when we know your body's not ready.
Yeah.
And that's kind of went into it like that. And then my first score on Friday, I think, was 9 minutes 18 or something. And I was like a bear, because Briggsy messaged me and she said she went 8 minutes 11, and I think she was 8:11 or 8:08. And I messaged Joycey and I was like, well, I knew it wasn't fit, but what the F? And
you can swear, by the way, don't worry about that.
Yeah. I says to him, I was like, this isn't acceptable. Briggsy just came down from the games. I know she is the engine, but I was like, come on, this is a short person workout. I can't be that much unfit. And he was like, well, I think that's just where you're at for now. And I was like, oh, it's on. So that just fired me up. I definitely I wasn't fit doing that workout, but I was just really pig-headed, and the mist was up. So it was for the rest of the Open. Whenever Joycey said to me, I think that's just where you're at. And I was like, oh, here, let's go. Game on.
Amazing.
I think that's what you need sometimes, though. Because, you went through that just proving him wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, we make bets and stuff. We do make bets all the time. So we do. And usually, if I win, he has to do, a workout that I give him and stuff like that. So it's always good seeing Joycey suffer,
just air bike intervals for days for Jousey.
Yeah. So no, it's good. I kind of do. I get fired up quite well by proving people. I'm like, oh, you say I can't. Let's go. So it's good.
So from what I'm aware of as well, listening to a few other games athletes and people that we've spoke to, I think a few people have had the same sort of not problem with the Open, but like weren't really ready for it, and then coming out of the games and then just surprised themselves at how much fitness they still had.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and like I was actually listening to a podcast with Elle Simmons.
Yeah.
So basically, hopefully he's going to be on the podcast shortly.
Yes.
And so we were giving a listening to a recent podcast he was on, and he said pretty much the same thing that he struggled with, basically coming out of the games and being a bit beat up, and then got into the Open and was just like, oh shit, I've actually got I've got a chance of being top in the world.
Yeah.
So I've got to ask you about Jousey as well. Because basically nobody really, it's funny because not a lot of people know who Jousey is, but he coaches some of the best CrossFitters in the world. like he's like the enigma. So what's like you say, what's your relationship with Jousey like? Obviously he throws the bets out there, but how do you get on with him? What do you find that he does? Why is he superhuman?
I just think, like, you know, he's one of the smartest people I know within the sport. You know, he's amazing. Like, between himself and Phil Mansfield, obviously with they're both like red pill training. Just between the two of them, like, you could sit and listen to them all day. So you could, about like the psychology side of things, obviously the movement side, and then obviously then the training side of things. Like, it's not just like, it's not guesswork with them. Like, it's all data driven. So that's what I like. You know, like, there isn't one training session I'll do without a heart rate monitor, because always monitoring like the heart rate and stuff, and you know when we're going to peak and how we peak, and that's really exciting because like you're bought into the journey. So you are, you know, at the minute we're in like quite a down phase, and I had like a complete shit attack there last week. I was like, right, we need to start going here. Like I haven't snatched or clean and jerked or like squatted heavy, pulled heavy. I was like, when are we gonna go? And he was like, calm down. He was like, we're so many weeks out from the games. Like, you peak within 4 weeks, so that means we have got, you know. So he'll just give you the breakdown, and you're like, okay, I'm good, you know, kind of thing. Where some people like peak differently. I peak like the 4 weeks leading into the games. That's when we start our fitness. We start CrossFit again. So, so he's just like, yeah, right, chill out, McQuaid, basically. But yeah, looks, he's very, very good. Like he really. Oh, there's Ellie. Ellie, hey.
Bring her on if you want.
I was going to say, well, be surprised if one of my dogs doesn't show up anytime now.
She's got her stance on here. Ellie. What was I saying? Yeah, so like he's very, very good at just keeping you like bought into the program and the journey. So you are, because obviously everyone gets insecure at times. Whenever you see other people like hitting big heavy lifts and PR, and I'm like, I haven't lifted more than 40 kilo snatch in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, it's all there. You just have to trust yourself. Do you do? But no, he's very, very good.
Do you trust him as a coach? I think that's the main thing, isn't it?
Like,
yeah. So if you trust him, he can literally get you to do anything, and you'll be like, well, there's a reason behind this. And he knows what he's doing. He knows me as an athlete, so I think that's
so
good.
Just getting that reassurance. Obviously, last week I just kind of needed it. You know, I was just kind of looking on social media, and you're like, oh my god, everyone's like got so strong, and I'm like way behind. But then, you know, we had a good chat. Like we had like a 90-minute call, and he was like, look, this is where we're at. This is where we're going. This is what we need to do. You keep doing what you're doing, and we'll be there. And I was like, okay, right.
This is your lane. You do.
Yeah, you stay in it. But yeah, no, he's very, very good that way. So he is. But again, like I think that's the biggest part about like a coach-athlete relationship. If you don't trust them, and if you don't buy into the journey and your path, you know, you'll only get so far.
Yeah, absolutely,
100% agreed. And I think it's really good for people to hear as well, because like I know from coaching people, and I know that I also get on to my coach on a regular basis going, oh, it's all not working. And he's like, you're fine, you don't worry about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, my athletes come to me and say the same thing, like, oh, like I'm worried about this. And you're like, don't worry, it's it's good. And then, like you say, as long as you trust your coach, you'll be good to go. And especially when I think you've got someone like Jause, who the only way I can describe him is like the mad scientist of CrossFit. He's just like,
oh yeah. We call him the wizard.
Yeah, the wizard. I did call him a wizard once, actually. Yeah, he's he got me doing some dancing lunges and it fixed my knee up, no problem. So
yeah,
you know,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Phil went to a red pill seminar, and the next thing, the whole gym are tap dancing.
Yeah.
Rightly so as well. Rightly so. So I want to ask you as well about recent competitions. So you competed at Filthy 150. And that was obviously in front of the home crowd. I can only imagine what it must be like to compete in front of a load of Irish fans. So how was that experience?
Oh, that was the best weekend competition like of my life. Like it just passed everything, past the games, past being a Commonwealth Games, past everything.
Oh, wow.
It was just like like going out and getting like the cheers louder than any other athlete was just like it was crazy. Like so it was awesome.
Yeah, okay. Like I watched it from over here, but it looked like it was fantastic, and like the crowd just seemed to be a little bit more mental than anywhere else. So
oh yeah, they were all probably drunk. No, they were. I know anyone that was there watching me couldn't even see my last two events. Like, so.
Not Fitted you're drinking anymore, is it?
I think Knocko would go really well with some vodka, though. To be fair, like,
doesn't tried it.
Doesn't.
No.
I'll not comment on that one.
Jousey won't listen to this.
But yeah, it's used quite a bit at our Christmas parties anyway.
Brilliant. You mentioned then the Commonwealth Games as well. So you competed in weightlifting at the Commonwealth Games, which is obviously another awesome achievement. What was that experience like as opposed to like a CrossFit competition?
Oh, it was totally different. Like the coolest part was obviously being in the athlete village for like the 3 weeks leading into the competition. I stayed with the Irish boxers from here. So one of the swimmers and the 4 boxers there was. And like that was just so cool, like because you got to stay with people from different sports and you got to see their habits over the couple of weeks and like how disciplined they were within their sport. So I love hearing about other people's like nutrition, their training, like their structure, their day and stuff. So that was pretty awesome, obviously, to get an insight into like professional boxers and professional swimmers and stuff. So yeah, that was awesome. That was really cool. Excellent.
And obviously, the funny story, actually, I was telling Josh about this before. So I tried to look up, my girlfriend's from Northern Ireland. She's from Bangor. So I was trying to get her into training because she's not the most motivated of people. And
she's an ex-gymnast, though.
She is an ex-gymnast, yeah. So she gets into a bit of weightlifting. I'm like, her numbers are pretty competitive here. And I'm like, well, maybe she should have a look at this. And then I was like, why is there nobody lifting in Emma's weight class? My girlfriend's name's Emma, by the way. I'm like, why is there nobody lifting in Emma's weight class on this meet? And I'm like, so strange. And then a couple of months later, I saw you pop up on the. I was like, because Emma McQuaid snatched me. I was like, Emma, stop weightlifting. It's too late for you.
Find something else.
But, yeah, do something else. But no, like I think it would be pretty cool as well, just to contrast. You got into weightlifting just through CrossFit as well. Yeah. So did you find that like an easy transition, or was that like completely out there?
Well, like I only done 2 weightlifting competitions, then Commonwealth, so I've only ever done 3 in my life. So I wouldn't say I'm that experienced. Like, so
you just happened to go to the Commonwealth Games.
I know, yeah.
No biggie.
Yeah. I just I rang around, heard the numbers I needed to hit, and I was like, what competition do I need to do? And they were like, you need to be in Jordanstown for this one. And I was like, right, she is there. And that was it. So that was
you can't do this. No, I can. I'll show you.
I think I had to hit like 97 clean and jerk and 73 73 or 74 snatch. So I just opened with those and then played. And they were like, "You're mental, don't open, go safe." And I was like, "Nah, all in, let's go." I was like, "I'll either make it or I'll not, so let's go." So I opened with the numbers I had to hit. So straight away from the first lift, that was me qualified. So that was good. Like,
look at the judges go, "Do you want me to do reps at this?"
Like the Northern Ireland like weightlifting wouldn't be very like they would not be for that. They did not like me doing that at all. So don't they like you to be very conservative? And like I missed my last 2 lifts. I only hit 4 out of 6 because on my last snatch I was like, "Let's go 4 kilos," and they were like, "Just go 2." I was like, "4, let's go," sort of thing. And I was like, "We're going for PB." And they were like, "You don't do that in weightlifting." And I was like, "Well, sure, but we'll try."
No wonder us CrossFitters get such a bad rep.
I know. So
I was going to ask how well received you were by the weightlifting community, but obviously you just upset them.
Probably not that well.
Well, my coach told me the other day, because he wants to get me going to the English champs, and he had to say to me, "Look, they're not going to like you because you're a CrossFitter." I was like, "I'm a lovely person." He was like, "No, but you do CrossFit and this is weightlifting." And I was like, "Oh, all right, okay."
Yeah. So yeah, they don't like that. And then like obviously I like lifting in my Metcons. So I do like I'll hit my PBs, and they were like, "We're lifters." And I was like, but I'm quite happy in Metcons. They were like, "We're lifters or else you'll be really hated." And I was like, "Oh, fine."
Wow.
So yeah, I had to learn how to use lifters again. Like
that rope top, get it off. I like a lonely.
Amazing. I love it. So I've got to take you back as well to obviously, and for those that don't know, how did you get into CrossFit? You already mentioned you started off racing quad bikes, was it?
Yep, quad bikes. Yeah. So raced quad bikes from I've been on a quad bike from I was 2 years old. Started racing quads when I was 6, and then continued to race until I was 23, 24, and then got into CrossFit. So yeah, got into CrossFit I think really at 24, so that was 2014. So I was over in America training and riding for the quad racing, and then I was in the global gym training. Like you do quite a lot of training obviously for the quads as well. You need to stay like obviously strong as possible. Seeing people in the gymnasium doing like CrossFit, asked her to join, and that was me. Hooked.
Yeah, in for a penny by the sound of things.
Remember what your first workout was?
Oh, I have no clue. I remember having to use a band for like pull-ups and ring dips, and I was absolutely scundered. So I was, because I was still feeling pull-ups and dips using a band. I was so cross. So I was, because everyone else obviously could do them because they were like kipping. I had no clue how to do that. I couldn't even do strict like. So there was definitely that, and I remember there was like power cleans, burpees, and running. I smashed everyone in the Metcon. So I did. I learned how to power clean. I think it was only light, maybe like 30 kilos or something, but I smashed everyone in the Metcon, and I was like, I'm fit. But I'm shy because I can't do pull-ups or ring dips. But yeah, that was me completely hooked then.
It's cool though that like you can like say that, because as a games athlete, the banded pull-ups were kicking your ass at one point. I think that's awesome to hear.
Like I couldn't, like honestly, like there's a couple of people that are still within like my circle that I started CrossFit with, and like they'll tell you like I was the least skillful person that ever walked through their doors. So I was very stubborn.
I was going to say, you sound very determined though, so that's got to be paid off.
Yeah.
Amazing. I've got a little bit of a personal question. I hope you don't mind me asking, but you posted yesterday that about your motivation, and is it your partner David?
David, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously you've just. Do you mind explaining a little bit more about that and why you motivate you so much?
David had an accident in 2012, so we did. Obviously, I raced quads. That's how I met David. We both raced quads together for like maybe a good sort of 5-6 years before we actually started dating. In 2012 he had a bad crash, one of the local tracks just about 20 minutes from home, and he got paralyzed. So he did. So that was obviously like completely life-changing like day for us. But yeah, so basically like he's just one of the most motivated persons I know. Like it never stopped him. You know, he still works every day. He sort of like runs like a wee small like quad racing, not team, but he runs a rider. So he does. So like his rider this year, like last year, won the Ulster Championship, Irish Championship, British Championship. So like he's just so driven. Yeah. So it is. So that drives me. It's like, you know, like I hurt my back a few weeks ago, and you're just like, look, things could be a hell of a lot worse. Just keep going, you know. So you can't really ever feel too sorry for yourself when you're around David, because like obviously what he's went through, and obviously we've went through it together. Like it's so much bigger than like small things. So it is. So he's my motivation. So he is, like whenever it's a tough day, it always can be a lot worse.
Yeah.
What a guy.
What a guy. And excellent attitude. In fact, I feel like we need to get him on the podcast as well, because he sounds like a top guy. Interestingly, actually, I'm just reading the book that I'm reading at the moment. Is talking about how people who have dealt with adversity generally manage to succeed in so many more areas of their life, because of dealing with that adversity. And it can work out as such a, I don't know what the word is, but like, because the word isn't positive, but it works out as such a good impact on their life, because they know how to deal with it when it is just I stubbed my toe or training's not going well. Like
that bar's so much higher then, isn't it?
Becomes nothing. So, I think that's really awesome. So we're got a couple more questions for you, and then we'll start to wrap it up, because I want to be respectful of your time. Probably got more training to do, I would imagine.
No, rest day sound good today.
Rest day. What are those? So one thing that I was at Strength in Depth, and I saw you throwing down with Team Wade.
Yep.
And obviously, what was it like to be pushing CrossFit Mayhem right to the finish? Because that was awesome.
That was probably one of the worst weekends of my life.
Right.
Wow.
I was really ill that weekend, so I took sick on the Wednesday before that, and I couldn't keep food or water down, so I couldn't that whole weekend. So that's a bad weekend to ask me about.
Wow.
I lost like 6 kilos that weekend.
Jesus. Wow.
So I did. I was in a bad place. Like, so as I was vomiting before like getting on the floor. Like I was a mess. So I can't even remember the weekend hardly. Like, so I can't.
I was watching and I wouldn't have known that you was ill.
Yeah. So many people said that, but Josie, of course, gave me his words of wisdom before I went on the floor. I think on the Friday night. The Friday before it all kicked off, he seen me, like, because I literally just took my head out of the bin from being sick before the run, and he came over to me and he just said, right, here's your challenge for the weekend. He was like, how strong are you? Right. And he was like, prove to me what you have.
Yeah.
And that was it. And he was like, are you going to let your team down? And I was like, no. He says, are you going to let yourself down? And I was like, no. And he was like, prove to me what you have. And that's just got me through the weekend. Like,
wow. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why we don't drink vodka. Not before sanctionals.
No, but like it was awesome, obviously, and stuff. But I didn't really enjoy the weekend because I was just really, really sick. So obviously, like, you know, being on the floor with Froning and Panchik and all those guys, like it is awesome. I would love to give them a rattle when I'm fit. So I definitely think I think we could have took them, to be honest, with a fit myself. There was just workouts, like I was as flat as a pancake. Like, yeah. I just couldn't. There was no second gear. Like I just about got myself into first. So the the intensity on the floor was based around me, which was unfortunate because I hate obviously letting people down. So it is, but like still to come second with a team member on death's door was still pretty awesome to do.
Very impressive, to be fair. Very impressive, because obviously I think Mayhem just thought they were going to show, I may be wrong, but they looked like they were going to show up and just walk home. I was like,
yeah.
And then obviously the run happened and all the rest of it, and you guys smashed the run.
Yeah.
And like from then on, it was like, oh, okay, this could get really interesting.
Yeah.
I think you definitely give him a run for money having been fit, and I did like I say, would never have known having unless you said. Again, just really impressive. Okay, last question. And basically, your home gym is better than my actual gym. So you have got the best home gym that I've seen. And how did
Bill
that come?
stopped his workout yesterday to show me your home gym.
I did. I was scrolling
Look
through
at how good this is.
Look at this. Like, you've got a little hatch that goes up for your pegboard and everything. How did that come about? You work with Black Box, don't you? Is it? And that.
Yeah. So Black Box, they're one of my sponsors. It just came about like I just like literally like again like all my PTs could relate. Like we started just after David's accident, and we changed like our quad garage just into like a wee gym. Right. Like we started just with like one squat rack, no cardio machines, couple of kettlebells, couple of bands, and then like the next month I would have bought a salt bike. The next month would have bought a rower. Next month would have bought a ski erg. So always kind of like worked within what I could afford, kind of thing. Never went too big too soon, kind of thing. Just chipped away. Right. And now we're kind of 6 years later, and then obviously built a gym at home. So I have, and then we did this setup, my current one, and then I started my outdoor project last year. And I'm just kind of getting it wrapped up, kind of really finished by hopefully Tuesday. So it is. So it's just been bit by bit, saved up, and just done it all all gradually. So we have. So it's just nice. Like we're not owing anyone money. We've just done it slowly, and it's just so much more rewarding. So it is.
Yeah, looks amazing. So, if anybody hasn't seen it, go and check it out. Just like get on Instagram and have a look, because like it proper jealous of how good that gym looks.
CrossFit McQuaid itself.
I know, that's it. In fact, there was something else that you mentioned then. Obviously, you still work as well as training for the games as well, don't you? So you still have PT clients, and what is there anything else you do as well? Because I think that's really impressive in itself.
Yeah, so like I still work. So I've got like. Throughout the week, I'll have probably 16 to 18 PTs in person. So I will. And then I have online clients as well. So I do programming as well. So I've got like 10 one-to-one individual clients, and then the rest is on my like generic program.
Wow. Amazing. How do people check out your programming if they wanted to have a look at that or get in touch?
Yeah, so it's just all through Fitter Training, and it's just under Daily Grind.
Excellent, Daily Grind, cool. We'll link that up in the show notes for sure. So got a couple more like bit simpler questions now, and just to start to wrap it up, like I say. First one is basically a film recommendation. What's your favourite film or something that everybody needs to watch? It can be a series or something like that.
Oh. I don't know, literally, me and David watched that many movies. Like, anytime Briggsy's over, she hates us because we've watched every and so I just love everything, comedies, Disney, but like in terms of like if I was like doing a competition or getting fired up, like I love watching like Creed or Rocky or just like something like you just like, oh, I want to train now.
Yeah. Love it.
You're not going to watch Moana before you go and train, are
you? No. It's maybe like a rest day chill or something like that. But if you want to get fired up, like watch Creed or one of those ones. I think I watched that on the flight to America, and I was like, I can't wait to train.
Brilliant.
You jet lag.
Excellent. So, next question. What if you could try any profession out there? So, like, obviously, as much as you love doing what you do now, if you could try anything else, like you could be an astronaut, you could be anything. What profession would you go for?
I think like I would love to be a good rugby player because that's cool. Like, nowadays, I did one rugby match and I did my ACL, so I don't think I'd make it in rugby. So I think, like, to be honest, I've always loved to ride a short circuit bike.
Right.
So I would probably love to try some short circuit.
So
awesome.
I don't know what short circuit is. Like, can you just sort of explain what that is?
You know what, like a road bike?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
A road bike on a circuit. So like a built track. So
okay. Yeah.
So I don't know if you like watch like the MotoGP that would be on TV and stuff to get there.
Yeah.
So it's like a scale down from like the MotoGP.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Cool. So it's quite big in Ireland. Short circuit racing.
Cool.
No, I'd love to try that, but I think my mum and dad would both kill me. So they said I was never allowed a road bike. So
you gotta have one. That's
yeah. You said I can't do it, therefore I will do it.
I probably will, unless like we have a child, we decide to get pregnant in the next 2 to 3 years. I'll definitely try it. Like,
I feel like it's just because you were told not to. I think that's the.
It's because there's never been a successful female within that sport.
Right. Okay.
Right.
I think that's always what motivates me to be like, oh, I wonder if you can.
We'll go and win the games this year, and then you can move on to that.
Yeah.
Last question, and just because I always ask this question if somebody doesn't swear much on the podcast, what's your favourite swear word?
I don't know. I probably say the F word too much, like. So I do.
It's the classic.
David cracks up with me all the time, like, for cursing too much. But all my PTs are boys, like, and it's so hard. Like, they're always cursing, so I always just say it's all their fault, like, because they curse all the time.
Yeah. I mean, you've done well. We're nearly at 40 minutes, and I think you've swore like maybe twice, if that.
Yeah.
So you've done well.
I always notice because like you either get one end or the other. Somebody who just doesn't swear or somebody who swears all the time.
Yeah.
I probably edge towards the all the time. I have to try and pretend I'm talking to my nan so that I don't. Okay, the quick fire questions to finish with, and it's literally dead easy. Like, first question is: would you rather snatch or clean and jerk?
Clean and jerk.
Run or row?
Run.
Air bike or running?
Run.
It's an easy one, really, isn't it? Front squat or back squat?
Front squat.
Pizza or ice cream?
Pizza.
Cookies or donuts?
Cookies.
And you've already answered this one. Books or movies?
Movies.
Last one. CrossFit Games gold medal or £1 million?
Oh. I don't know.
How you do? Come on.
I think it was like £1 million, to be honest. But yeah.
You can say both.
I don't know. That'd be hard.
No, you can't say both. No, it's one or the other.
I would say just for David's sake, maybe the £1 million. So, but for my sake, the CrossFit medal.
David would want you to get the medal.
He would.
Yeah.
But he would also like an upgrade in his car.
Never mind your dreams, Emma. I want a Merc.
Amazing. So Emma, obviously you mentioned the daily grind on Fitter and personal training and stuff. Is there any other ways that people can contact you, or any sponsors that you want to mention before we let you go today?
So you can just follow me on Instagram, McQuaid175. And then obviously I have a couple of great sponsors, obviously Fitter being one of them, Wed, the protein, Noco, and then I also have Eat Naked NI. Without those, I probably would die because I would just probably live on pizza. Who else have I got? Obviously Black Box, for like any gym equipment and stuff. They're obviously great to work with. So yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Amazing. Emma, thank you very much for your time today. We do really appreciate you spending the time with us. Obviously, we know you're super busy, but again, thank you very much for being on. For our regular listeners, again, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Please write reviews, all the rest of it. You all know the drill by now. Please, like I said, like, subscribe, share. Give us a 5-star review if you're on iTunes. We're now on Stitcher as well, because apparently I thought we was and we wasn't. But we are definitely on Stitcher now because I've double checked. So again, you can listen to us anywhere you prefer. And if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Emma, thank you very much. Guys, thank you. Peace.